Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Furkhan Dandia and I'm a therapist. And today I'm going to ask you, who are you? Now, this video has been inspired by the work of Carl Jung. And he said, the world will ask you who you are. And if you don't know, the world will tell you. And this is such an important thing to consider, especially in the world we live in, where we're so digitally connected to pretty much everyone. We can get a glimpse into anyone's life, and that can also cause confusion because then we don't know who we are. So, Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds in psychology, warned us about something that we often overlook. If we don't define ourselves, the world will define us. And the world's version of us is rarely the truth. So think about it. Every day we're bombarded with messages about who we should be, what success looks like, how we should think, and how we should feel. But if we don't consciously ask ourselves, who am I? What do I stand for? Then society, social media, our past, and even our fears will create an identity for us. And that identity is often built on expectations, not the truth. So let's break this down further. Have you ever felt trapped in a career you never really chose? Have you ever played a role in relationships just to be accepted? Have you ever wondered why you feel empty despite having what others consider a successful life? Now, let me tell you, I've experienced all of those things. And it's really tough because I felt this lack of alignment in my life, and it started to take a toll on me. Obviously, it impacted my mental health, but then it started to show up as physical issues or the manifestation of this stress I was experiencing or this chaos was manifesting physically. So that's the cost of letting the world decide who we are. Carl Jung believed that self discovery is not just an intellectual exercise, it's a necessity for living authentically. So, then how do you reclaim your identity? Let's talk about three things that are somewhat inspired by Jung's work. So, that starts with facing our shadow. So, Jung talks about the shadow self, and that's obviously become a very mainstream concept, but a lot of people don't truly understand what that is. And the shadow self is the part of us we suppress because it doesn't fit the world's expectations. Confronting our shadow means acknowledging our fears, our anger, and insecurities instead of letting them control us from the background. We need to be able to define our own values. So if we can't decide what truly matters to us, again, someone else will tell us. So then it's important for us to sit down and ask ourselves, what do I truly believe? What is worth fighting for in my life? And lastly, we need to be able to act in alignment with our true selves. So once we know our values and we can live by them, then we can make decisions that are big and small that reflect who we are, not what society is telling us. And that could be really tough for people. So I don't say this that this is something simply that we can do. I know a lot of people grow up and they have basically been conditioned, myself included, and there's all these expectations. So this is not an overnight process. It is a journey, but that is really important, something we embark on. So when we truly know ourselves, the world will no longer have power over us. We don't need validation because our foundation is unshakable. And that's the power of Jung's wisdom. And essentially, what that really means is being so grounded and so confident in ourselves and having that inner connection that we can't be shook when people throw expectations at us or people are drawing us into their dysfunction. We're able to keep separated and remain grounded in those situations. Again, I will ask you, who are you? And start this conversation because if we don't decide, someone else will. So please leave a comment. Please let me know what you think, what your thoughts are, and share if you feel compelled to do so. Thank you again.